Good evening. Good evening, all of you. It seems fatigue has crept in and then you are tired listening to. Yeah, I can overhear the clamoring and then I can hear what you want to say. But I choose not to hear that and I choose to proceed with what I want to say. I've been preparing for this for quite some time. So I'll not be bogged down by the cheering. Let me use the word cheering. Hooting will not look nice. Anyways, so as I met a lot of people, I know a lot of people from here. So as you know, my subject, I speak corely and I practice corely in the forensic investigation domain. And I always say that I have people who ask me that why do we need or what is the use of AI in the forensic domain? I say that AI is the new calculator. So like we have calculators, like we had calculators disrupting the accounting and disrupting the calculation probably hundreds of years ago, similarly we are having AI and then AI is so pervasive that it will be used everywhere. Now today we have around, because we are running a little bit late, so we have trimmed this session by some 10-15 minutes. And amongst me and Anand, we have around 20 minutes of time, of which I see 2 minutes I've already consumed. So what we'll be doing very quickly, I understand we have amongst us some people who are doing a lot of advanced work in the forensic domain and in the AI domain. But I will try to demonstrate, I'll give you a storyline, I'll give you a case study, probably something which we did. And I have some data with which I like to give you a demonstration of finding evidences, discovering evidences, or as we call gathering evidences. That is the word used in our Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standard, FAIS 320, document and evidence. There the word uses gathering evidences. So we will be looking at some AI tool by which we will be gathering evidences and those tools can help you in presenting the report. Okay. Now, the technology, I am always a fan of web-based tools. So I don't like tools which has to be installed in our native systems. Because with tools, we get cookies, we get lots of files, and we get clutter. Again, it is dependent on the processing capacity of our computers. The moment you go to a web version, it is clean, simple, minimalistic, and everything is on the cloud. So probably, if I use a Mac, यहाँ चल रहा है, अच्छी बात है, but then there's a lot of places where we have some compatibility issues with the Mac. So then I have that option of taking data in the cloud and doing. That is why I like cloud. Now, the moment when say cloud, and if you want to do little bit of advanced work, the next thing comes to Python. We had the course launch of our level 2 today. That there we had some introduction to Python. Now friends, let me tell you, I am a chartered accountant. All my qualifications are related to commerce only. So I am as novice as probably any one of you with respect to technology. My journey of using AI tools is hardly a year old. In this 1 year only, I have learned whatever I have learned, and the internet has been my biggest teacher. Okay, so what we are doing today, I will be giving a demonstration. Today what we are doing, so we had a case, of course I'm using some synthetic data. We had a case where we downloaded and we have 20 emails. 20 email files, those are .eml files. We have those 20 email files. These files are conversations between employees of a company where a particular vendor has been onboarded and there is a whistleblower complaint that this vendor is being used to take money out of the company, to siphon money out of the company. That is the storyline here that we have. Okay, now in this company, we have extracted 20 email file. We are tool agnostic when we talk about the email file. So here I am using .eml files. I am using probably emails downloaded from a web version of web version. But if you have a native desktop application like Outlook, you'll be having a PST file, and then the method of dealing with PST file will be a little bit different, but the logic will be same. Now, since the morning we are hearing that AI will not replace us, and people who know will be replacing people who don't know. That maxim, of course, stands correct. At the cost of repetition, I told it again. And what I want to demonstrate, that with the knowledge and the intellect that we have, with the same knowledge and intellect, we can analyze such cases using simple Python tools and using simple generative AI like ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT and Google Colab. I hope a lot of you must have heard Google Colab. Can I get a shout out as to how many of you ने आवाज करो, बहुत रोशनी है, मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है, चश्मे पे ज्यादा है. Yes. हाँ, वो आगे के रो वाले तो बहुत सारे लोग सुने होंगे, they are my co-faculties, so I know आप लोग तो बहुत होशियार हो. So Google Colab. Have you heard about Google Colab? So for those who don't know Google Colab is a web version, it's a web playground where you can use, oh, they were waiting for me that I say that it's too shiny. Nice. Good. Round of applause for the lightsmen, huh? Thank you for being so responsive. But still, because I'm in the spotlight, I have to suffer this. Anyways, yes, so I was telling Google Colab. Google Colab is a platform where you can use, it's a playground where you can have sample small Python scripts, and you can use those Python scripts for manipulating data. Okay, I'm using these very two simple tools. We'll be developing the code with ChatGPT, and we will be using Google Colab for the output. Okay, so as I said, we have 20 email files. First I'll give you the logic, and then we'll see the tool. We have 20 emails. We have downloaded 20 emails. These are email conversation between the employees email conversation about the onboarding and payment made to particular vendor. We also have developed a fraud keyword taxonomy. Now, what do we mean by fraud keyword taxonomy? When we do analysis of unstructured data, say you are having 10,000 email, you have to check Facebook chatter, you have to check tweets, you have to check feeds. So unstructured data which does not have a structure, for that the best way to evaluate is doing a keyword search. To do a keyword search, yes, there are certain native keyword search tools which the income tax department, enforcement department, they use. I had the privilege to work with a lot of them. So they use keyword search from the data that they recover during search and seizures. Then they try to use certain keywords. Based on that keyword, they develop a story and they interrogate and they recover. Now what we are doing, we are using a keyword library. Now this is where the intellect is. ये सबसे crucial है domain expertise के लिए. Because we are domain expert. I'm sorry, I'm taking the liberty of speaking a couple of sentences in Hindi. Huh? I hope you don't mind that. So this domain expertise is our USP. This domain expertise is what you develop. So we have developed a fraud keyword library. Fraud keyword library means words which denote, say, pressure that urgently onboard this client. The management wants to onboard this client. The management is pushing to onboard this client. So the word pushing, the word wants, I mean wants is a too generic word, but the management is pressurizing. Such words, urgent, pressure, such word denotes pressure, and such words will come under our library. Then what we do next, we check the library against the email, and we try to find out relevant email which shall be the evidence in our investigation. Let me quickly demonstrate that, what I have done for the case. I hope the case is clear to you. Okay? Please, let me show. Yeah, so this is the, see, these are my email file, if you can see on the screen, these are the 20 emails. I'll just try to show you those emails. These are the 20 emails that I have. Can you see this? These are the 20 emails randomly. Now, the problem is because we are having these emails, these are all textual data. So first step is that we have to prepare a table from the textual data. This table, we have to prepare a table from the textual data. So what do? We simply write a prompt to prepare textual data from the table. So this is our prompt. Okay, this is our prompt. Create a Google Colab notebook that guides the user through uploading email.eml file, one or more at a time. The notebook should read each file and extract basic information such as who sent the email, who received it, the subject, date, message content. Once all emails are read, the notebook should show a preview of the table and then ask user extraction completed, so on. It is giving the instruction for parsing. So we are bifurcating the table into, we are bifurcating the unstructured data into structured data of table. Now using this prompt, we write a simple Python code. If you can see, this is the Python code that is written. Of course, we can't understand the Python code, but the beauty is that we don't need to understand the Python code. We are only concerned more with the output. There's also a concept called as chain of thoughts. I don't want to discuss that, but you have to keep on iterating. आपको अपना prompt सुधारते रहना पड़ता है based on the output. That is called as chain of thought. So we just copy this code. We go to Colab. Now, let me open a new file and post it, or I also have a ready-made file. देखते हैं इसका result आता है, or we use a ready-made file. I hope this opens. Yeah. So this is how the Colab looks like, and we paste that, we run the file. We run this. So if you'll see, the libraries and packages are being installed, and then we will be getting a prompt. Yeah, so we had some error, but it's still asking for the file. Let us add the file, ignore the error, and then we can check. This is the email file which is being uploaded. We will be having a table like this. This is the sample table. If you can see, this is the sample table. And it is asking, would you like to download the extracted CSV? We write, yes. And here is the extracted CSV. This is the CSV. If you see from to, email number from to, subject, date, body, everything is created in a CSV file. Now next what we have is that for these emails, we have to do a keyword match with our keyword library. If you can see on the screen, this is the keyword library that I have prepared based on my experience and my understanding of the forensic practice. Generally, email exchanges between fraudsters have this word. And for those who have some background of forensic accounting, there's something called as fraud triangle. We have tried to link the keyword to the fraud triangle. Okay, we have tried to link the keyword to the fraud triangle. So this is being linked with the fraud triangle. Now what we'll do, we'll be matching those emails with these keywords, and we'll be trying to find out the evidences. My sample is having 200 files, but practically when we do, we have 2000 emails. So 2000 EML files. And mind you, with the same tool, with the same technology, without spending a single penny, you can do this for 2000 files as well. So let us write another Python code, or I'll show you the prompt. I have already the Python code. So this is the second Python code. Detect risky email using keyword matching. Create a second Google Colab notebook that begins by asking user to upload 2 files separately. A table email that was generated in previous step, a list of keywords and their categories such as pressure, opportunity and rationalization. The notebook should then search email subject and message for these keywords. If the keyword is found, it should be recorded along with the category it belongs to. Only those emails that contain the keyword should be shown. A short preview of first few matches is done, and then it should give an option to download the file. So by this prompt, we can generate the second Python file. I already have the Python file because I see that clock countdown timer going there, and then it's bogging me. So let me I have, this is my second file, email parser. Yeah, I had the wrong file. Email parser was the file that we used earlier. So we are having the keyword match. Now we'll be running this file. I hope you are getting what I'm doing. Correct? And this is not technical. So here it is asking for the CSV file. Please upload the CSV file that contains your email data. So I am uploading the CSV file with the email data, parsed email. Then it is asking me choose the file which contains the keyword library. So I am uploading the keyword library, and then it will be doing a matching and download. This is what we have got the in form of evidence. If you can see the first email, urgent approval for vendor, urgent approval is the keyword, and pressure. Similarly, if you see consulting fee payment update, it is harmless. The word used is it is harmless. This is rationalization. Then we have strategic fast deal, sales target strategic deal. This is pressure and rationalization. This way, you can find the keyword in this. We can create a visualization of this, or we can create a mind map. So visualization will take time. I already created a mind map, and probably, I don't know if this is visible to you, but this is the mind map that I had created. If you can see, this is the mind map is created in whimsical diagram. So this is how we can use certain simple tools, simple Python scripts, and we can use to demonstrate the keyword search. This can handle, the beauty is that this can handle thousands and thousands of line item of data. I hope you understood what I was trying to say. My time was pretty short, and I have Anand waiting and pointing at me and looking at me with anger that you are eating my time. So please, Anand, next is you. Thank you so much. बंद कर दो Yeah. Sorry. Is better? Okay. It's working. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Can I have a slide changer? Yeah. Okay. So, very good evening, everyone. And I was not pointing at him at all. He's a good friend of mine, so Durgesh takes a liberty in terms of doing it. And the way we just thought of, okay, the timer starts now, 20 minutes. And I think there is something more interesting coming than my talk because there's hackathon. So I'll keep it very short and very simple. It's like the last part of the day. And I'm sure you had an exciting time with all the different thought process and everything. Let's do a Q&A because, you know, it's all the, you guys have been asking question. Let me try to ask a question first. So, okay, what if your next forensic engagement artifacts, or if you are doing a fraud risk assessment in your corporate role, or you are using it for generating some kind of artifacts, what if this artifacts is generated from a smart tech, which is a collection of multiple AI things and all thing, and I'm sure from morning you have seen so many speakers and all thing, I don't have to talk about what do I mean by smart tech AI because it's kind of a combination of multiple things. My question to you would be, how many of you are willing to trust it 100%, like with your life? Only one person. No one. None of you. Only the lady out there. Round of applause for her. Huh? Sure. I'll tell you what she's saying is something very interesting. Like, I have a question for all of you. How many of you here, if you worked on any trial balance or tally or ERP systems, when a report comes of that, when was the last time you have taken a calculator and checked what the report is coming is correct or not? You did it on tally? We trust. See, let me change the question. I am in Pune. I come from Bangalore. Pune and Bangalore has one common thing. What's that? Anyone? Traffic. No, you guys have better traffic, okay? We have beautiful traffic. You don't have that traffic at all. But one thing which is common is good weather. And I know that Pune and Bangalore both have a big cycling club. I don't know if you have seen people on Sunday and weekend cycling around in Pune. Same thing in Bangalore. How fast can you go on a bicycle? What's the fastest you can go on a bicycle? Max 30 kilometers?
Oh, downhill. He said downhill as much. Sir. Average speed, what's up? 20, 30, 50. Who said 50? Okay. I have friends in Bangalore who actually travel on over weekend to Mysore and back. Mysore is around 120 kilometers. So in a day, they will do 240. I don't know how many of you heard about Tour the Nilgiri. There is a kind of thing which happens. It's a 300 kilometers in 3 days. And what if I tell you that all of you are wrong because the fastest human on this planet has gone 285 kilometers per hour. Not downhill, not downhill. It was a human-powered bicycle, and this is a lady, Denise. She has the world record of doing it. Now, what is the connection between a forensic artifact and a cycling? See, guys, whether you like it or not, I will tell you, we don't know our potential. Sometime back, you were saying you'll not trust any of the thing, but when it comes to your ERP systems in your organizations, your transaction processing system, you are trusting it blindly. And over a period of time, it will happen because there are assurances which are built around that. What if I tell you that already there are organizations which are getting smart tech generated reports being used in their organizations? Why I showed you this example is basic example is we think, this is something which is going to happen in the future or I think that, but it's already out here today. And if you need to basically analyze all of that thing, you need to understand the root cause for this. And the root cause for this is we are moving from a concept of fraud assurance or assurance per se to a cognitive governance. We all understand one thing. Don't you agree with me that prevention is always better than cure? We are looking at that. There was I'm not sure how many of you are a big fan of movies. Have you seen a movie called I, Robot? It was a little old movie. And it was like a preemptive kind of thing. And today it may look like to you that, oh, Anand is just like blubbering something out there. What if I tell you to imagine something right now? I want you to imagine, we are in 2025. And if the conspiracy theories are going to, I'm not sure how many of you are a big fan of conspiracy theories. There are conspiracy theories that, the world is going to end in 2035. If that doesn't happen and we survive, 2035 you are taking a car with your friend from Pune to Mumbai, and you talk to your friend and says, hey, you know what? There used to be a time when we used to have steering wheel in our car. I'm not joking. Please understand. I'm telling you that 10 years from now, you would actually say that there used to be a steering wheel in a car. And when I just say that, a lot of you would think, oh, this guy is joking around. But I'm sure just 7 days back, you have seen the video of Tesla delivering itself from the factory to the customer. 300 miles it traveled and it went up. We need to understand the same thing is happening in the field of risk management, in the field of fraud, forensic, and other areas. What used to be a traditional problem-solving approach, you just saw two things were very interesting what Durgesh showed. Durgesh just showed that you make a prompt, you make a problem statement, you create a solution, and then and there you have it up there. I remember I work in the digital forensic domain. We used to use so many tools and all the thing to basically do keyword search and all that kind of thing. I'm sure you have heard about tools like Autopsy and all the thing, where we used to load all of the things and do it. You just noticed him to do it in just a kind of a micro-analysis in hardly 8 minutes. Now that's amazing. It was never possible in a time earlier. And that exactly I'm telling you that we have moved from the old way. If you remember, I'm sure some of you have done programming. We used to have this concept, very beautiful concept, write the code, attach the database, run, and then exceptions will come out. We have moved from there to machine learning models. We call that as traditional AI or narrow AI. That was also an AI, where we could use machine learning models and everything, we did it up. And then today, as we are talking, we have moved exactly to what I call, you just give a prompt, you get the result. Now, that's an amazing thing. We should be appreciating this because it's not something simple. Anyone, I don't know how many of you, I see a lot of senior members, anyone here who come from that background of, when audit used to get complete, trial balance will tell you we used to have party? How many? Okay, lovely. I come from that generation, okay? So I come from Bangalore, a small and medium firm, and the moment trial balance tally, they used to have cake cutting ceremony. It was like as of, something else we are doing it. But if you have actually evolved from that, you would appreciate where we are today, right? And here, I want you to remember these two parts in forensic fraud and risk management, what has changed. I will be showing you some examples also of this, but the beauty of this overall thing is, can you see the crossbreed between traditional AI and generative AI? That's a big mistake. You are listening from morning, people coming and giving sessions and after sessions. They are talking about generative AI. Generative AI is just one part of the AI. There have been a lot of things, vision AI, you have natural language processing, multiple things are there. The idea is, do we understand when to use what? Personally speaking, I have to just tell you one thing. Do you remember class 1 or 2, we used to do one exercise? You'll have pictures of different animal and name of the different animal and match the following. Literally, you are supposed to do that today. We have come a long way, and that's the beauty out here. And when I say it can be on anomaly detection, and when I'm using anomaly detection, I don't know how many of you have been watching or listening to what PCOB has done recently, Public Committee Oversight Accounting Board. They came out with an exposure draft. They said, why should auditor do sampling? Why should they not do 100% population and check it for anomalies, or anomalies are nothing but exceptions? Now, if this comes, don't you think globally it is going to be a change of way we do the review? Anomaly detection, credit scoring, compliances, fraud detection, you can have it. This used to be done in narrow AI part. What has changed? When you mix both of them, you have recommendation engine. And I'll try to show you some examples of this in terms of the old and the new. If I talked about the new generative AI, if you try to see it in risk management, this is what you can actually try to see how it is being used. It can be a forensic engagement where I do planning, execution, reporting. It can be multiple area. What you see as a prompt would basically bring out all the things which you require to do that. But this is actually the generative AI part, not the overall things what we are looking for. I hope you are getting my point that it is not trying to give you a complete part of the things. It is just saying, hey, you know what, I would like to do this, I would like to do that. How accurate it is going to be, it is all depend on your prompting. We all understand prompts. I don't want to go too deep into that. But what about this use cases of using AI in fraud? It can be predictive audit prioritization. It can be on visual risk storytelling storyboards. It could be on time series for using forecasting of process failures. Or it could be on building up knowledge base, very similar to what Durgesh showed up, that can be have keywords and other things, what happened in the past, what could happen in the future. Because if all of you have heard about the fraud tree, we had a listing of all different types of fraud which can happen. When you do a fraud risk assessment, scenario building and everything, we also try to see that. Everything out here can be done. I would like to show you one or two examples very quickly in terms of doing it. I have kept it open. You can see this. This is a very interesting one, okay? I just kept it ready for you very quickly because I didn't want to record it up and then just play a video. It is very boring. It's just nothing but a fraud risk assessment, scenario builder, which is there already. You have multiple types of, risk which could be there, which you would like to do it. Once you put it up across different controls and other things which are there, it categorizes all of that things which is there. Procure to pay cycle, on marketing, advertisement, and all thing, entity level controls and everything. And once we have done that, I can just say, I would like you to plan the audit. And what you see, oh, this is the most interesting thing, you know? So 404, just a moment. Okay, I know I had two systems open, so let me try to show you the other part first, and then I can commit. I wanted to show you something on scenario building, and this is nothing but you have some kind of forecasted numbers and everything which is there, and you're simulating all of that things out here. Now you can see I have put some different parameters which are there, and this is actually being running an AI simulation. It could be on Forex, it can be on retail sale, it can be on unemployment rate, or any other kind of things, GDP and everything. And when you try to run a simulation, I'm just an example, the simulation will basically change everything what you have seen in the forecasted numbers and taken it forward. So here it was earlier, you know, the forecasted sale has changed, simulated revenue has changed, and all of the things are working. Now you may think this is a rule-based exceptions or anything, or rule-based, you know, building up of the scenario, which we could do in Excel also, but that is not there. It goes with multiple scenarios which are there, which can be built and taken care of. We call it as something very simple. I don't know how many of you heard about a very interesting term by BCG, Boston Consulting Group gave a term, digital twin in finance. They are saying that finance has so much of data, they don't know how to basically use it effectively. And similarly, another use case which we have out here is on reporting side, where people are using this mix of traditional and the new one. So you can see that, how many of you heard about sentiment analysis? Yeah, okay, few of you. Imagine a situation where you are actually trying to see that what people are, you know, if my client or my internal client has treated me well and all thing, my report sentiments are going to be different, and it can be vice versa. Is it aligned with the organization, the way we are doing it? All that kind of things are being used. I'll just show you an example here. So I just upload a kind of sample file here. I had kept the file somewhere, yeah. It was a report on group treasury and all that kind of thing. And it basically analyzes all of that things and gives you complete classification, what you have done, how's the sentiment detected, is it great, it was not good, the way the language has been done. Ultimately, it's a simple NLP kind of things which is being worked out and taken care of. And based on that, you can also use what we call it as, creation of some kind of AI report where you give the template, you give the timeline, you give the details, and type of summary which you're creating. Based on the template, it can actually generate the whole report and give you the thing. So what I would like you to understand and appreciate here is this part, that when we are seeing about the use cases with AI, it could be on the planning side, it could be on the execution side, it could be on the response, how our internal clients are responding it up there, and how the reporting is happening. All of these things basically brings out one thing which are there. But this is something you will be seeing it coming. This is the most areas where a lot of people have not talked about. Imagine analyzing the calendars and metadata and everything to figure it out, any kind of error can happen out there. Or trying to see AI vision against CCTV cameras to figure it out in your fraud detections and take that forward. Using LLM to see the clauses and then analyzing it, what are the potential of misuse of that clause by a person based on that. Or using any kind of transcription services to see the kind of voice modulations and everything which people are being talking about. We have people being used in terms of finding out non-traditional evidences. We used to have evidences in our engagement like screenshot, WhatsApp screenshot, app logs, speech-to-text memos, and all that kind of thing. What I'm trying to bring out here is what we see as a potential is something very different than what we have thought it to be. The only thing which we need to think about here is how we can actually leverage it. And literally, friends, what I could say, what is happening here is this. Traditionally, forensic accounting professionals, risk management professionals were playing more of role of data translators, checklist mindset, Excel joking, report writer, and surprise checkers. This was the roles which we were actually working on at a point of time. And now this is moving to someone who can actually think of the models which are being used, challenge those models, and take that forward. Think of this where we can actually understand the control architect, how it has to be worked out in the ever-changing dynamic business world. Looking at algorithms and seeing how it can be used effectively, because if you have been hearing about that, algorithms are running the world right now, and that's going to be a very interesting world altogether. Areas of narrative synthesizers and also future scenario simulator. This is something which is very interesting because imagine I do one change to my business process. What are the chances someone can actually use it up? If I am in retail, if I am in actually, imagine some situation where there is a lot of interaction which happens with people, small change in my process, what are the different simulation I can actually run to search for, oh, here is the chances where someone can actually misuse it or change the whole way it has been done. So friends, that's all from my side, which I would like to actually add to you. I would just say a closing point out here, which is what we have thought it to be is not going to be the way it is. There is a very famous line, the future is not what it ought to be. And it's changing faster than what we can think of. And in the area of risk management, fraud, forensic, there is a big intervention which is coming. And this intervention is actually going to be useful because it's actually human and machines against the problem which we can solve. Thank you, guys. Yes. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Rakesh, sir, our regional council member, CA Rakesh, to please propose a formal vote of thanks. And I also would request our regional council member, CA Rinken Patel, to please felicitate our today's esteemed speaker.
Good evening, friends. First of all, I just request both the speaker to be on the stage. Also request Rikin Pai to accompany. So, thank you, speaker. Both the sessions were very interesting, and you people have covered the session in layman language and using the step-by-step how the AI to be used in the forensic audit. So on behalf of WRC, behalf of ICAI and WRC and all the audience, I offer a formal vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Request both the RCMs to please felicitate our both the speakers for today's session.